Let's know some new definitions here to enter the trigonometry science. Any right angle triangle, this side opposite to the right angle, we called it hypotenuse. And the side beside the angle C or opposite to the angle C, the opposite to the angle C, we call it opposite, which is AB. Side AB, we call it opposite to the angle C. And the adjacent to the angle C will be AC. So the side opposite to the right angle, we called it hypotenuse. And for the angle C, the opposite to the angle C, we called it opposite. And the adjacent to the angle C, we called it adjacent. Let's see in the right angle triangle, if we talk about angle B. Do the opposite and the adjacent will differ? Yes, but the hypotenuse never to be differ. The hypotenuse constant. It's the side opposite to the right angle. What about angle B? This is the opposite to the angle B. AC will be the opposite to the angle B. And AB is the adjacent to the angle B. So from angle to the other one, the opposite and the adjacent will differ, and the hypotenuse is constant. For the angle B, the adjacent is AB, and the opposite is AC, and the hypotenuse is BC. For the angle C, the opposite is AB, the adjacent is AC, and still the hypotenuse will be BC. Let's illustrate what's meant by sine E. Sine angle E, it's a ratio between the opposite to this angle inside the right angle triangle and the hypotenuse. So if you find this ratio, easily you can find sine angle E. What about cosine angle E? It's a ratio also between the adjacent to the angle E and the hypotenuse inside the right angle triangle. Finally, we recognize that tan E is another ratio, which is a ratio between the opposite and the adjacent for this angle. So the ratio between the opposite and the adjacent, we call it tan the angle. And the ratio between the opposite and the hypotenuse, we call it sine the angle. And the ratio between the adjacent and the hypotenuse, we called it the cosine of the angle. All of them are trigonometric ratio. You're going to find it later on. Okay, for an abbreviation for you, sine opposite over hypotenuse, so SOH. So we abbreviate sine as صح. And cosine C, A, and H. So our abbreviation here is كح. And finally tan E, T, O, A. We abbreviate it to تقى. So صح كحت وش تقى. Okay, this is an abbreviation. Never forget about sine, cosine, and tan.
شوف الحلقة كاملة من خلال تطبيق مدرستنا بلس. مدرستنا مستقبل يبدأ الآن.